Hey guys, it's Bree here from Blossom and Branch Farm, and today we're going to show you how to make a quick and easy trellis for your garden bed. So the whole idea with this trellis, and if you've watched our Procrastinator's garden plan video, you already know this, but in that plan, we have a trellis that runs down the center of the bed, and that center run trellis is what's going to be the support for our cucumbers, our tomatoes, and our beans. So we're going to put those tall things in the middle, and then we'll have either side of the bed for planting on. This trellis could also be adjusted to be on one end of the bed or the other. It's very flexible. We just want to show you roughly how to do it. After we show this trellis, we're going to show a second one that doesn't require any power tools and is really easy to put up either in a raised bed or in the ground. So if you're not comfortable with power tools, stay tuned for the second part. So Dave has built the first support, so I'm going to build the second one, and then we're going to put the post going across the top. David says for safety, I should not have braids in. Okay.
So you move
Put your arms around me like in Ghost.
Yeah. So move it. When drilling into 2x2s, they split easily if you drill a screw right into them. So if you drill a pilot hole, it will prevent them from cracking.
We're putting our support screws here, so this is going under the bed and into this piece here versus trying to attach to the slip, because the slip does overhang the inside of the bed. So we're going through the outside of the bed here into this piece. Multitasking. So now that we have these pieces in place, we're going to go ahead and put our top piece in.
So spare pieces that will just fit in like this. Yeah.
So the whole theory behind this trellis is that the weight is going to be from the top and then straight down. So there's going to be a string that attaches to this top horizontal support that's going to go straight down to our plant. So whether it's a tomato, a cucumber, a bean, really anything that you'd want to trellis and go upward is going to attach from this top beam and then down. So we're going to put on the Procrastinator's garden plan, we have 4 indeterminate tomatoes, a cucumber, and also some pole beans on this trellis here down the center. The other great thing about this is it can serve as a hail net support. So if you're in an area like me that gets a lot of hail, you could throw a hail net over this entire structure. So here are the parts for the garden bed. Now again, our garden bed is about 4 feet wide, so we actually measured the interior dimension and it's actually 47 inches. Then we're subtracting 1.5 inches for the main support 2x2. So that gives us a total of 45.5 on the width of this area. So we divide that by 2, which gives us 22.75. So that gives us this side, 22.75. Therefore, because we're making a right angle, we know that this one is 22.75, and then we're just going to use the Pythagorean theorem to solve to figure out how long this piece is going to be. So a squared plus b squared, 22.75 plus 22.75, that gives us 517.5 plus 517.5, which equals 1,035. And the square root of 1,035 is 32. So we know that this dimension is going to be 32. Now pay attention to the cuts here. This is a straight cut. This is a straight cut. These cuts here are mitered. So this cut is mitered at a 45-degree angle, and this cut is mitered on the opposite 45-degree angle because that's the side that's going to attach to our bed. These are all 2x2s. This 2x2 that goes across the length of the bed is going to be about the same length. So around 8 feet for us because our bed is 4 feet by 8 feet, but we actually had to cut it down a couple inches to make it fit inside. So assuming that you have a 4 by 8 bed, you will need 4 8-foot length 2x2s. Next up, we're going to be talking about how to make this one. Now, if you're not comfortable with power tools, this one is a really good option because all you need are these long bamboo support posts. So we use either a 6-foot or an 8-foot, depending on how long we want to make this. And in this case, I'm using 6-foot. And all I do is I press them into the ground. I like to do one about every foot, and that just helps to give the best support. So I'm pressing them as far down into the ground as possible, and it's best to do this when the ground is moist because that's going to help those posts really get down deep into the ground so that this won't blow away in the wind. Once I have the one side done, I do the same thing on the other side. So I push them in going up toward the top, so making an upside down V shape. Once we have all those bottom pieces in, then we put one piece across the top, so this one rests on top of that V shape, and then we tie it into place. This actually makes it really stable, but we're still going to add one more piece down below for extra stability and to add the twine to when the plants are climbing. I'm using hemp twine to make these connections. I find that that works quite well. It doesn't have to be anything waterproof because you're not burying it into the soil, but if you're in a wetter climate, you might want to use nylon instead. I find this hemp twine works really well. So now we're going to put on those lower horizontal supports as well. We're going to tie those on just the same way. And there you have it, 2 quick and easy DIY trellises. If you like this video, please remember to hit subscribe and like.